Yep. I don't have it yet.
What up, everybody? I am Ruben Paul. As you can see, my name that's right under me across is, you know who he is. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? It's Tony Sanchez right here.
Yeah, man, we're excited to go live. We're going to start doing the podcast live. So we'll be going live every Wednesday at 1 o'clock until we change our minds.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
So
you change your mind a lot.
I do change my mind a lot. So,
Yeah.
but I've been able to commit to this podcast all the time.
Yeah, which has
And
been pretty impressive, man.
Thanks, man.
Because I know how you get sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you think I have commitment issues?
Yeah, man. Ever since you turned Portuguese, man.
Oh, you know, I almost
became
thought
a
we
little
were
bit.
going to go without any
Oh,
Portuguese
no.
reference.
It's going to be a Portuguese reference.
Portuguese reference.
Because you are Portuguese.
So,
Yeah. You like that.
So you mean because I have a little the Mexican is greasy? Is that what you're trying to say? So I'm Portuguese,
Maybe.
Portuguesey.
Maybe.
By the way,
Fashizi.
whisper out to all the.
Quit doing that
Portuguese.
whisper out.
Epa. And
Matter of fact-
my partner writer. Caray.
Matter of fact, my
Caray.
boy Yanni from Montreal. Shout out Yanni in Montreal. He's my boy who takes care of me whenever I'm in the city. You know, he'll take me around, take me to get food and everything. He's a good dude. But he sent me a message
information.
after our last episode.
Okay.
Telling
Thanks,
me
Yanni.
who started the shout outs. Because
So
remember
it's
we were
not-
trying to figure out.
It's not Tupac Shaker, right? It wasn't Tupac Shaker after all?
Stop it, man. That you're being disrespectful to Tupac Shakur.
I know.
He did not start the shout outs.
Oh, okay.
But Yanni sent me and he says, Uncle Ralph McDaniels. Ralph McDaniels, a hip hop pioneer, started the shout out.
I wonder so that might have been what 70s then, right? If he's a pioneer.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, way before Tupac Shakur.
Ooh, man.
But anyway, man,
Yeah.
it's
I don't
Wednesday.
know, I think Mexicans were doing that back with Pancho Villa too. Chout out.
Anyway,
They used to call them chout outs. Hey, who's out there, man? I'm gonna give a big chout out, man, before we go ahead and have to fight the gringos, okay, man?
all right, whatever.
All right, man, come on.
Well, you sound like everybody that was at the
Raider game?
the Raider game this past Monday night. I got a chance to go to the Raider game on Monday.
Ruben.
You know, I'm a diehard Raider fan. I'm a season ticket holder, and but I got a extra cool experience going with George, so I got a chance to be on the field and have a good time, man. It was a great atmosphere.
you have some footage.
Yeah, it was great, but
you wanna
but the before we get to the footage,
Oh.
the thing that made me laugh is your clip from Mad TV.
Oh,
With
Little Joker.
Yeah, show
Little
the
Joker.
Little Joker clip,
Show
man.
the Little Joker clip.
Hey, real quick though, hey, can I ask
you
a
go.
favor, bro? Can I give a shout out to my family? once?
Yeah, I suppose. Sure.
Okay, hey, go Raiders!
Go Raiders! You know what makes me laugh is Eric Price, the whisper out to Eric Price.
Who's Eric Price?
He's the cast member. That's the
guy, the reporter?
the news reporter.
Oh, okay.
Because he does a funny face when
Yeah, he
it's
is
really
funny
funny.
in
The way he's really still funny.
Uh-huh.
Very funny guy. But he was always really good with his reactions. He was a good reactionary comedic guy, which is, a lot of
Important.
times
Very
when
important.
the focus is on when you're doing your dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's key to have, so you see bad sketches.
Yeah.
One person saying something, the other one's just straight waiting for their line.
Yeah.
And they're not reacting at all, and let alone reacting comedically. But the way he does his face.
Well,
yeah.
I think that's great about me and you, because when I react to you, I'm not even acting. Like, I'm really annoyed by you and disgusted by you. So it's not even acting. You know what I mean? Because people.
So you're literally just reacting.
Yeah, I'm just reacting.
Yeah,
Yeah, because people go, man, Johnny really gets on your nerves.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, yeah, you have no idea. We've been friends for so long.
But here's the crazy thing. Everybody else is thinking, man, I would love the opportunity to be hanging out with Johnny like that.
That's because they don't really know you.
You don't
They
appreciate
don't really know
it.
you.
But I told you what made me laugh, that when we were posting that promo, when you were all in a good mood laughing, and then as soon as I went, yeah, this is why I say whisper out, dude, the look of disdain that came on your face from that too.
Yeah.
But matter of fact, I told you we got to figure out how to make a GIF out of that.
Well,
I
you
know
know
we
Renee
all
can
say
do it.
GIF, but it's supposed to be GIF anyway. The guy who whatever. I think everybody says GIF, don't they? Pretty much everybody says GIF.
Renee, what do they say? I could ask Chris. Chris, what do they say? Do you know?
People say GIF, but the guy that started it, his intention was GIF, but people don't know that. Everybody started saying GIF, and it just took off.
You always have knowledge of useless information, which is great about you.
I saw something. There was a segment on something about. It might even been like it was like a talk show, and they were like, "Oh, so we're gonna get to the bottom of this." Is when they were doing stuff like no. They were doing stuff like, "Do people say data or data? Which one is it? It's data, okay? It's data." I said data.
Let me
for
tell you
years.
something about Johnny. What you guys? Johnny loves to correct people, and it's the funniest thing. Like he'll let somebody talk, and he goes, he'll let me. Actually.
GIF.
Like in a jiffy?
Yeah, because it was something about the guy that started it. He wanted it to be like Jiffy peanut butter. Like having
But
that
isn't Jiffy spelled with a J?
Yes, but he wanted that sound, but with a G. Because you couldn't use GIF, J-I-F.
Can I ask you, why do you even know this?
I pay attention when people are discussing it, and it's data, not data. And I've been saying data for years, so I had to switch that up, which is always tough when you've been saying one thing.
So you can't wait to correct people when they use it wrong.
Yeah. So now I'm waiting with somebody to go, do you guys have any extra data? It's actually data.
Yeah, that's him.
Johnny's correct. Steve Woolhite created the graphics interchange format, or GIF,
Wait.
GIF.
in 1987.
No one said he was wrong.
87?
1987.
No, but it's good. Thank you. Who is that?
Johnny loves to hear that he's right.
CNN Business.
But anyway,
Can we CNN Business?
Can we
Get
get back?
out.
Can we get back to me?
They didn't comment on here.
Can we get back to me at the game on the sideline?
Back to the Raider game.
On the sideline.
On the sidelines.
Me dapping up the players as they running by. Do we have a clip?
Wait, say that again?
Dapping up the players, like slapping hands, giving dap.
I don't think I've heard that.
Dapping? It's another black thing that you'll try to take over.
I thought you were going like this every time you went by. I know.
Really? Oh my God.
Oh, what, Chris?
Thank you. That was horrible.
My second arch enemy now.
But I had a great time.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I had a
he was
great
on
time
the
at the
field.
game.
Oh, you were on the field because you were there with a certain someone.
Yeah, I was there with George Lopez.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Just
and it
want to
was
make
great.
sure, they know.
Yeah, it was
This is the kind of friends you keep. No, I mean that in a positive way.
Yeah.
Like
it was great
you're
because
good friends with George.
So here's the thing. I have my seats. I commute back and forth.
My launch thing here.
Yeah, you gotta share it so people can.
But I don't even have it. It's not even here yet.
It's on this live.
Why can't I see it? What am I doing wrong? I want to get this right before we go.
Hand him the phone, and he'll do it for you.
All right. I'm bad with technology, everybody.
Yeah, he's very bad.
That's why knowing little things like GIF and data is a lot to me. Okay, I'd prefer to be talking about VHS and beta.
So, look, we go to the games every week. You've been to a game with me before.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And my seats are even better now. So I can't.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm in row 2 now of the same section.
Okay, and then I just hit share, right?
He's already done. He already did it, so you couldn't screw it up.
All right.
So I go to the games anyway, regardless. And then George hit me up and was like, "Yo, do you want to go to the game?" And going to the game with him is a little bit more of a different experience because I get to go out on the field and it's just a dope time. I've met the owner, Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. You just spoke with Mark Davis.
Yeah.
Plus, on this, it's always better because if you go with George, then you can fly there as opposed to taking the bus.
And I could sell my seats or give them to my friends. So,
because you'll sit with him.
Yeah, I'll sit with him.
Oh,
yeah.
No, that I didn't know.
Yeah,
I thought you just went back to your seats.
No, because dude, George can't go. He can't be in general population.
General population.
Dude, we were in a suite. And some people saw him. This brother, the whole game, we're cheering and everything. And he turned around and he gave me a 5. And he's like, "Is that motherfucking George Lopez?" And me and George fell out laughing. And then from that moment on, like, everybody just
He
kept
comes
coming
out,
over,
yeah.
and he's leaning out the window to take pictures with people. And my seats are fantastic. And I guess we could tell security to kind of keep people away.
Yeah.
Because in our section is mostly like business people and professionals.
Where your seats
where,
are.
Where my
Yeah,
seats
yeah,
are.
yeah,
It's not any. It's not your typical. Well, that's not fair to say typical Raider fan, but what people stereotype of a Raider fan is. Like, there's no fighting in our section.
Oh, you mean where the Latinos are sitting?
No, there's
is what Ruben was going
No, I
to
wasn't
say.
going to say. There's
He
Latino.
goes, not where the
No, I mean,
Latinos
one thing
sit,
that's
but
dope
no,
about
I'm totally
I know,
kidding, by the
but-
way. You know that.
Yeah, but I do stay away from the Mexicans. But but even but people think if you go to a Raider game, you'll get your ass whooped, and I think
Yeah.
that reputation came in LA
LA.
because you would get your ass whooped in LA at a Raider game, but in
In
don't get me
Oakland.
wrong,
Yeah.
you can still catch a beat down in Oakland, but there's people walking around with like Broncos jerseys at the game,
Yeah.
and people just flip them off and talk shit, but there's no altercations or anything like that.
Right.
Like it's it's cool. And then I'm on the club level, and so it's a little bit higher clientele up there. So it's not.
Yeah.
But sometimes I leave my seats every once in a while because I have friends there in the black hole, and I'll just go there just to experience the rowdiness. But the whole stadium is just.
Yeah,
the
well, I
stadium is
went. I
shitty.
was surprised, huh? The stadium is
The
old.
stadium is old
yeah.
and shitty, but nothing beats the atmosphere at that game. And I was on the sideline. Chris, could you roll the clip?
Oh man.
Can you? Yeah, that was. See, right now you're looking at the opening and then the players running out.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, then so you're dabbing.
Yeah, you'll see my hand.
Dab,
But,
dab. What do you
yeah,
call it?
slapping hands.
Oh.
That was Big Hank. Gave me a pound when he came through. That's Perfect that went by. That's Whitehead that went by. It was dope. It was cool. So the whole pregame, like I'm on the sideline. We're on the sideline for about 2 hours.
Oh, that long.
Yeah, about 2 hours. Then, Tom Flores and Romanowski. We met Diana Rosilli. Is that her name from ESPN? The sideline reporter. Chatted with her for a while, which was really cool.
Yeah.
It's just cool just to be in that atmosphere. It kind of brings you back to the time when, when I play, obviously not on that level, but when you play ball and you're on the field and you're
Yeah.
warming up and stretching. And,
Sure.
it was kind of cool just to be back.
Yeah, I remember
in
all that. I
Yeah.
remember all that.
Did you
Yeah.
play football?
Yeah, I remember Pop Warner. Remember? I told you I played Pop Warner a couple of years. Hey, what?
You
man?
didn't play in high school?
No, I didn't weigh enough.
Oh, you was too busy doing drugs and stuff.
No, I was too busy running track and cross country and wrestling.
And
That's what I was
and
doing.
drugs.
No. I
Oh,
was
you didn't do
not.
drugs in high school?
Nope.
Really?
This guy, Chris knows all
Because
of
we
a
know
sudden?
we know you're lying, man. We know
Oh,
you're lying.
man,
But
anyway.
anyway, had a great time at the game, man. And Raiders won, so that was cool. It always makes it for a better trip when they win.
Well,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And when me and you went to the game, they won. We had a blast.
and it was the Broncos.
Oh yeah, it was the Broncos.
And it was
game.
a Monday night.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
man.
And,
We were hammered.
we got
Yeah, the fun.
we woke up with videos the next day that we didn't know we posted.
I know. We had fun. That
That's
was a
when
fun
you know
game.
you're having fun. But you're right about that because I remember the tailgating parties. And you were like, yeah, it doesn't get bad here. And then there were Bronco dudes walking in between all these Raider tailgating, and they were like, hey, you guys want some food?
Yeah, offered
Hey,
them
man, you
food
want
and
some
drink.
food? You want a
Yeah.
drink? You want to? And then I remember because I remember you telling me, you're like, no, they don't get rowdy. You go, if anything, sometimes it's the opposing team. And sure enough, later on, there was like there was like 6 or 7. It was like 4 dudes, 2 girls. They
Yeah.
were white from Denver. They must have been from Denver because they
Exactly.
had the
Yeah.
and they were like, yeah, whatever, F you. And I was like, are they
They're
out of their minds?
Yeah.
walking around talking like that at an Oakland stadium, dude.
Yeah,
but nobody
dude.
said. They just like whatever. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that was the year we went 12-4, right? Yeah.
that's the year it went 12-4.
last
That's
year,
right?
and then last year sucked.
Yeah, 4 and 12.
Yeah. So,
So-
this year it's gonna be good. And then with
It's
all
tough.
the
We've
AB,
got a tough schedule,
with all
though.
the AB stuff now, it was cool to see like it brought the team together. So. And they balled out, and it was a good win. And now we got the Chiefs coming up, but they were motivated, man. You could really see how motivated they were after all that had happened. Because when a dude walks away from $30 million, or basically, throws that away.
Yeah.
And for him, that video he posted, him celebrating and all that. Like, who celebrates a pay cut?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like a slap in the face.
Yeah,
To
on
the
top of it,
players and
yeah.
the whole organization and everything. And then, now it comes out that he has a civil suit against him where he's being accused of rape.
Oh, correct. With
Yeah.
his former trainer, or
something, yeah,
yeah,
that
this
just-
girl that used to help him with
Yeah.
stretches and all that other stuff. I don't even know
but
what
it's,
kind
but
of.
it's not
Yeah,
the Raiders' headache anymore.
yeah, but but they're posting stuff. Renee and I were talking about this. They're posting the photo of him in a Raider uniform.
I know.
When this all happened when he was a Steeler, by the way. And if
Exactly.
anything, either that or put him in the Patriots uniform. Don't use the Raider uniform as look who's being accused of rape. It just
And
adds
you know
to
what's
the,
crazy? What I just found out, and this is not like 100% true, but dude only went to like 3 or 4 practices total.
Oh, so they made it look like he was
Yeah.
there a lot more than.
Yeah, he was rarely even there.
Yeah, he wasn't really a Raider. We were
know what I
talking
mean?
about that. Like,
Yeah,
he's not
so it's
even
just-
didn't play in a preseason game.
Yeah.
Didn't even do that one. Remember they were like, can I throw him one pass? Remember the Gruden?
Yeah.
They were talking about it, and he's like, no, let's not do that. So, look, man, that's the Patriots. Maybe, that's Belichick's problem now,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see. But it'll be interesting to see now what's going to happen with all this going on, and
But what so being there, and of course, like Lionel B and Marcus King, and we're all in this section, we're all talking, and because I left the suite at one point to go say hi to everybody in the section because we're up in the suite, and it was interesting. We talked about this before we got on air. On the me and George we just chatting and everything, and we were just talking about like different comics names will come up. And it's like, yo, whatever happened to that guy? Or what happened to this guy?
we just did that earlier.
Yeah,
actually.
where there's so many people that we started out with that aren't doing comedy anymore, and people quit for whatever reasons,
Families.
family tragedy, or just not finding success.
Not success. There's also some decide that they have a better path at writing.
Yes.
On shows or working for
It's
people.
not for them anymore.
Right.
And it just made me think, it's like what motivates you? I think anybody in life, when you get up in the morning, the goal is to do something you love to do. And even when you're doing something that you love to do, there are trials,
Yeah.
and rough times and rough patches that you go through, and I'm always curious, and I always have to revert back to myself, is what motivates me to continue, and part of it is I love what I do, and just the ability to know that I can still improve and still get better as the year goes on, instead of looking at it like,
I peaked out.
you peaked out or whatever. And that's the thing, because there's a lot of comics who have been doing comedy a long time, and me and you have talked about this. They just seem like they're on autopilot. They're doing the same act that they've been doing for 20 plus years.
Yeah, I mean, literally, a lot of people don't realize that some comics just it's. I'm going to start with this opener every single time, and I'm closing with this word. Down to the last word is, and we've never been able to quite. We repeat material,
Of course,
but we
everybody does.
like mixing it around and putting it in different orders, because even that makes it feel fresh sometimes.
But we're not. Like, how many times have you performed and I performed, and people are like, yo, you didn't do that joke, or you don't do that joke anymore? Like, oh, I remember you used to do that.
Right.
But there's guys that are literally doing almost the same act verbatim.
Yeah.
That I've seen when I started, and I used to watch them, and then you see them in 2019 and they're doing the same thing. Yeah. And it just made me think, like, man, what's their motivation? Like, what is it that, like,
it could be, what I think, I'm only saying this because I feel like I've had these conversations with guys that have been doing it longer than myself. And sometimes some of them just kind of, not that I say specifically, hey, what's your motivation, what it's been like, whatever, but, or how, are you going through, but some, just talking to them, you can get the idea. Some of them just like, hey man, I come here, I don't have to work during the day. I show up, I do that set, I get paid, I make a decent living, I go on the road here and there. I'm not working during the day.
Really?
Because some have answered that way. Like, hey, do you think about getting an agent for auditions? Or do you, and I've spoken to some that would literally be like, this is good. This is fine, man. I'll live out the rest of my day, whereas I'm hoping for something else. 95% of the time, stage time is satisfying and gratifying for me.
Well, I mean,
but there's that small 5% of it now and then.
I just think when you think of the essence of stand-up comedy, you feel like somebody has something to say, so you have the opportunity to go on stage and say what you have to say, tell the audience how you have to feel, how you think, or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing the same act, that means that has stopped.
Yeah.
Like you're not even, like what are you doing? Like I don't really understand what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's more. Others have the mentality of, I've figured out how to have a great set. I make everybody else laugh, and they feel good when they leave. That's good enough.
But they're doing it's a monologue. Like that's just weird.
Yeah.
You know, so something could have happened in the news or something could have happened in their lives, and they choose not to talk about it and still do what they've been talking about 20 years before.
And not only that, but how about sometimes when we get to a club and something happened on the way, almost got in a car accident. Maybe you witnessed one, maybe somebody flipped you off and there was road rage. A lot of times we want to talk about that. We go up immediately. Hey guys, you're not going to believe what just happened, And so I'm thinking, I know this for a fact because we've seen some of the guys walk in going, but I was stuck in this jam and this happened and that happened. And then they go on stage going, hey, my name is, and it's like, Dude. Tell them what just happened to you.
Well, like I was texting you.
Why am I yelling?
Because that's you, man. And you want to give whisper outs, really? Yeah, the guy who yells wants to give whisper outs.
Whisper out to all the yellers.
But like I told you when we were texting back and forth the other day, I was like, dude, 20 years doing comedy, and I have a traffic joke. I've never written one, but that very unique thing happened to me. It was very specific. And I was like, oh, I can talk about this on stage. This isn't just a generic,
Don't you hate?
Yeah, this wasn't a generic
type of
don't you hate.
driving.
This is like a very specific thing that happened to me that I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
So now it's in the act because it's something that is relatable and is very specific that somebody go, holy shit, like I've never experienced that because it's only an experience that I had.
Exactly.
So I don't know. What motivates you? What motivates Johnny Sanchez to
That's for all the Facebook Live people.
What motivates you to
Oh, you do? Why don't you tell? I thought you were going to say something.
What motivates you to do stand-up after all these years to keep going? I mean, obviously it starts from the love.
Yeah. But you know what?
Do you feel those other people don't love comedy? That are just doing the same act, or they fell out of love with comedy? Because you remember, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. I'm going to keep it. I'll keep it.
I don't know if there's any comedians that are in live, but do you remember when you first started doing, like, your mind was consumed with comedy 24/7, dude. Yeah. That's all you thought about.
Yeah.
When you weren't on stage, you were thinking about getting on stage, and everything you're doing, you're trying to think like, "Hey, could that be a bit? Can this be a bit?"
Everything was, and then a notepad somewhere. Like, I gotta write that. I mean, I still do that. I still write things down. Yeah.
We still do that today, and I still feel that same excitement.
Yeah.
Like even when I have a spot,
doing new stuff is always so exciting.
And I tend to. I mean, you talked about this, and I know you don't like to do it, but I like opening up with new stuff, man, right off the top.
Yeah.
It gives me that nervous energy. And then if it doesn't work, then you're like, all right, let me hurry up and transition to something that works.
Yeah.
But just the feeling of that. And, sometimes people, not to say that we're not successful, because I think success has a lot to do with perspective and, what your goals are and on the road to achieving those goals. But I know I just love to perform and make people laugh and to say things that can make people think about things they probably wouldn't have normally thought about, especially if I'm doing, a social, if I'm talking about social issues in my act or something. So, and then also, the motivation to get to a wider audience, to feel like I have the ability and the talent to be on a bigger stage.
Correct.
That keeps you going. Because there's a lot of guys that we know that will flat out tell you like, man, those days are gone for me. Like I'm not trying to be on TV or trying to do movies. And I'm not saying that has to be your motivation, because some people just want to do comedy.
Just stand up.
Just stand up.
Yep.
And that's fine too. We know those road warriors out there. But if your thing is just to do stand up, I just always wonder, and this is not to shit on anybody. I'm really, like, we were really, like, me and George were talking about this, and me and you've talked about this. Like, I'm just really curious if all you want to do is stand up and you're just repeating material from 20 years ago, are you really doing stand up?
Right.
Can anybody answer that?
Yeah, I would say, well, I mean, technically, they're doing stand-up.
Technically, they're doing stand-up.
Emotionally, they're not.
I don't know.
But listen, man, it's sort of like this. I guess some comics would get sort of like somebody who does maybe like a ventriloquist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not really sending out, maybe their act is all about being just cutesy funny and whatever, and they're not worried about anything, hot topics or things like that, or social issues. So they're still making people laugh, and they're still entertaining and performing.
Yeah.
But everything's got to be, it's just got to be this, and it lines up with that. So I know for me, when I was younger, it was the thrill and the fun of performing.
Oh man.
And now it's more, I feel maybe even a little more gratifying, because it's more about it feels more therapeutic for me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
I feel that too.
You know how we go a few days without, and you can't figure out why. There's times I'm just like, why am I, not depressed? I don't like to throw the depression thing around, but just feeling like blue or down, or kind of like, oh man, I'm just in a funky.
Depressed.
Yeah. The only reason why I don't
there's varying degrees of it.
I just don't like.
I know
that word gets so used,
Yeah.
loosely abused and used too easily. But you're kind of like, damn, what is wrong? And then you go, I'll look at my calendar, or I'll think about it, and I go, oh,
I haven't
been on stage for the live. I couldn't make that other show, so it's been 4 days.
I will say,
literally, it starts to affect me mentally, and and then get up on stage. And like I said, the reason why I said 95% of the time, is because there's always those little 5%ers that pop up every now and then, which we were a part of. And I like to tell everybody about this, because you just never know. We were on a show on a Friday night. This was about 3 weeks ago, and we're just kind of going, okay, is it the other comics, or is it this crowd? Because you're not, the old rule, which does not always apply. Don't ever blame the crowd. I'm telling you, sometimes
it is the crowd.
It's just a weird crowd. And that night, I know what it was. It was the Friday night for the start of the Labor Day weekend. Second show. That was, okay? And none of us could.
When we were on the same show,
and everybody's just like, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I was telling you. We were on the same. And then I get done, and I'm like, oh, I just wanted to get out of there. And then I'm driving back, everybody. I'm driving back, and all of a sudden I get my phone, which is about 30 minutes later, because you finished your set.
Yeah.
All I get from Ruben is, oh. I went, okay. So Ruben closed it out.
Yeah.
I couldn't get him. Nobody before me could get him. And it was because sometimes it's our energy and our style. We can bring a crowd around.
Well, let's. I mean, you're being harder on yourself than you need to be, and we're both harder on ourselves. I mean, there's certain levels. Like, there's the difference between sometimes as a performer, you can go on and you can kill and still not feel good about your set because you didn't do what you wanted to do.
Those are frustrating too. Sometimes
those are frustrating, and then sometimes. You do a set and you might not be happy with the set, but the audience enjoyed it.
That's
the
true.
audience enjoyed your set. Yeah. It just wasn't getting the responses.
They weren't laughing people.
Yeah.
It was trippy, man.
Yeah. You just weren't getting the responses you were used to getting. That's what it was. And that's the same thing, because when you get off stage and then people are letting out, they're like, oh, great set, you're really funny. And in your mind, you're going, really? I didn't feel like, that's true. I didn't feel like but they don't know. But that's one thing I learned early on as a young comic. And I can't remember what vet told me this. He's like, man, just take the damn compliment. Don't explain
Oh,
your
yeah,
set
don't explain.
to the audience member. Like, yeah, it was okay. You know, I was better. You know, usually when I do, like, nah.
Yeah, remember all that?
Just say thank you. Because then what it does to the audience member, they go, well, shit, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, maybe,
Yeah.
you know, you just take the compliment and then have the conversation amongst your friends.
Well,
know,
that's
family.
true. I mean, I used to be bad, be like, oh, really? You thought so?
Yeah.
Because normally I open with this and then I end with that. You know what I mean? You should come back and see me when I do my other stuff. Oh,
yeah.
God. You used to do it too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You know
that's
what I
one
mean?
of those
We would
things.
all, yeah, look at that right there. I like that.
all
Oh,
right.
look at this. Perfect.
All right, Johnny. Okay.
Hey, check that out.
You're like a.
What are the chances of that?
What are you, 12? Are you 12, man?
That's kind of cool, dude. Hey, man, knock on wood if you're with me.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on wood
All
if you're with me.
They have to watch.
Hey,
Hard Knocks.
do yours. Yours.
Yeah,
on top of
I'm
it.
not doing that. Why did I even listen to you do that right there? So, Chris, do you say people have questions? What are they saying?
There's a lot of hellos. Let me just read them really fast. Tambra says hi.
Oh, Tambra from my hometown.
There's a few. Also a Tammy from Tulare.
Yep, to Larry.
To Larry, sorry.
To Larry.
okay.
It's
Sorry.
like handing something to a guy named Larry. Give this to Larry.
I apologize.
All right, what's
Really-
up? Thanks for
we
watching,
re-
listening.
Like we really care. Hey, Tammy from Tulare.
we do care from Tulare. We do
Oh,
care.
all right.
Oh, you're from. Go ahead.
Angelo says, hey, guys.
Angelo?
Sarukas
Yeah.
That
or
bitch.
T Sarukas. It looks like T
It's-
Sarukas.
Yeah.
Man, he's
Opa! Opa! I didn't say Epa. I said Opa.
he's
You guys
great.
better know
Nah,
the difference. That's
Angelo's
for Greeks.
my boy. What up,
He's my
Ange?
boy too. As a matter of fact, get this. Guess what the last show I did with Angelo?
Where?
In Artesia at a Portuguese hall. Epa. How about that?
Really? Did you come out as Portuguese in that show?
I didn't know yet.
You didn't know yet.
I didn't know that.
So you're still fooling the people.
I at the time I didn't know that I had that much Portuguese.
You're predominantly Portuguese.
Yeah, that's okay. Fine. Anyway, thanks for
Predominantly. For you guys who are just watching us live and didn't know, Johnny, who's been masquerading as Mexican.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
all these-
something else.
Who's been masquerading as
He's been masturbating as a-
as a Mexican comic for years.
Pretty long. One from Eric and then one from
Eric Rivera says,
He's
so
supposed-
great to hear the comedy advice Ruben and Johnny got when they started back in 1952. Oh, like some of your jokes? You brought that on yourself, Eric. By the episode with Ida Rodriguez, Ruben mentioned the tribute, The Last Light. They did Siddiqui, but didn't talk about, but didn't, wait.
Let me see. This episode with Ada Rodriguez, Ruben mentioned the tribute, The Last Light. They did for Siddiqui, but didn't talk about it much. What are your thoughts? Oh, there's my goddaughter, Crystal. Hey, Crystal. It's my goddaughter. Anyway.
Okay.
Eric's laughing. Hey, man, whisper out to the... I
love Eric, man.
Whisper out to the Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican.
Wait.
That's Eric Rivera.
Puerto Rican? He's Puerto Rican.
No, he's Guatemalan and Puerto Rican.
Really?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican
I didn't know
or,
that,
or
Eric.
Guatemalan, whichever one he wants.
But
You
Eric
can choose. And you're
Eric-
welcome for those.
Eric is
By
a
the
good
way,
dude,
Eric,
man.
I'm sure you'll be using them next time on stage.
Damn, Eric, that was Johnny. That wasn't me, man.
How come I can't see any of these? Oh, it's on yours.
Wait,
That's
why is she calling you Nino Johnny?
I'm her godfather.
Yeah, but Nino's a Spanish word.
It's also the same. It's almost the same in Portuguese.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
All right, I'll let that-
padrino in
I'll let that-
Spanish.
I'll let that slide.
It's padrino in Spanish, and then in Portuguese, it's I think
Yeah.
padrin.
All right.
Epa,
So-
caray.
You know, I don't know if Eric is still in. Wow,
he
just passed
probably
me.
got out.
Wow, just pass me up. I'm Little Puppet's sister.
Who's little puppet?
Little Pu-
That's no.
This is from Maria
yeah,
Colosio.
Colosio. No, Big Puppet. He was Big Puppet. How can you forget? Okay, remember the guy in the sketches on on Matt TV that I used to. He's always in the sketch with me every time. The Big Puppet. When I go like, this is my real homie
Johnny,
right
I gotta
here.
make a
You've
confession.
never watched any of my videos.
I never watched any of Matt TV.
Yeah, he never watched.
I'm
No.
just messing with you. I watch everything.
You didn't watch
I watched
anything.
every episode. You my boy, man. I supported you, man. I watched every episode.
I'm gonna start calling you Eric Griffin Jr.
I watched everybody.
Okay.
So Eric, we're talking about motivation, like what motivates.
Can we patch him in?
We probably can't patch it.
No,
Eric
I
in.
know. I was kidding.
But what motivates you? We were talking about like no matter what you do in life, there should be some motivation about what you do. What motivates you, Eric, to do stand up? Like, what's your motivation? What gets you going? What keeps your faith? What keeps you in the game? Because Eric's been doing it for a while too.
Yeah, he's been in the game a minute.
He's been in the game a minute.
He
So
started around 88.
but even on not even talking about comedy or entertainment industry, I think about my father, like what his motivation was. His motivation was very specific. That was to make enough money to take care of his family and to send money to Haiti. That's all they cared about was helping the people of Haiti. That was their motivation. So my father didn't feel well, or my father didn't feel like that's what got him out of bed every morning to do those things, you know? So he had a very
your
specific.
dad and my dad had a lot in common. They were very hardworking.
Very hardworking.
Just, I got to take the extra work. Like I told you, sometimes my dad feels bad now. Like he tells us now, like, I feel kind of bad. I was always working, either one or two, two jobs.
I'm sure he wanted to give you a better life than he had.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I told him, I said, you can't worry about that. Like, you were doing the right thing. You're supposed to. It seems like, men back then were sacrificing a lot to have 2-3 jobs sometimes. Anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah. What's up, Conrad? I think about this.
Conrad, yeah.
Some people might go, well, my kids are my motivation. I know. I remember, I think talking to Joe Coy one time after he had a son and just how that lit a fire under him.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, what still, kids will be the obvious, like, oh, I do it for my kids, or I do it for this, or do it for that. But in this business, man, the answer could be like, yo, if you're doing it for your kids, you need to be doing something else because you're not making any money doing this. Right. So what really is your motivation to do stand-up comedy? Because there's other things you can do to make money, especially when you're on this comedy grind and not really working as much as you like to. Because I know so many comedians, man.
Because it's different now than when it was in the 90s when you could just literally work every single week at a comedy club if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Eric says, I got my kids. That's a big one.
Yep.
Not only to take care of them, but also not to give up. Fuck, that's great, Eric. That's it too. It's like to be an example. If this is your passion, what you love to do, you got to fight through those times when you're getting the no's. When
and like we always talk about, there's more no's than yeses.
Yeah.
It's a business that is you're hearing no's the majority of the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's
he says he doesn't ever want them to say Dad quit, since I tell them to chase their dreams. He's telling his kids to chase their dreams.
Makes sense.
But yet you quit on your own. I always was taught
that's great.
Finish what you start.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to quit. I remember even playing baseball and stuff like that. If my mom paid that sign up fee and the uniforms and all that, I was going to every practice and every game. There's no way I can quit it, especially after she paid their money.
The only thing I quit when I was in like sports wise was baseball, little league, because I was horrible. I couldn't hit the ball.
Knowing your dad, he probably wanted you to quit.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah. Oh, really? Again? We've gone over this. Oh, really?
Hey,
Hey,
Candy.
Johnny. Well, I tried, and I saw that you couldn't hit the ball, and I kept keep the eye on the ball, and then I said, but you can hit it, so it's time for you to get out.
God, man. I've played my dad. The recording.
right.
He sounds nothing like that.
I don't know. Me and Chris,
Oh, stop
me and Chris
it.
talked about it later. He did sound a little.
Chris, what is he?
I'd say there's a hint of it.
No, we agreed that he has a little bit of an accent, but this guy,
What?
it's like, every time you do my dad, you immediately start with, with your dad did have a heavy accent. You know what I mean?
Oh, my dad did
You know
have
what I
the
mean?
accent,
I mean, I'm
yeah.
only going off of,
Yeah.
what you, hey, you have any recordings of your dad anywhere? Is he recorded on anything? On a VHS
You know what?
tape?
Here's the thing that's interesting. I do have in a box in one of my closets an old answering machine.
Oh.
And
It should be on there?
I bet either my mom's voice or my dad's voice on there. I should do it one day, but I'm just not. Even after all these years that have passed by, I don't know if I am emotionally ready to hear that. Because I found I was cleaning out I was just cleaning out a bunch of papers, and I found these series of letters that my mom wrote me that I totally forgot about them.
Okay.
And just these, like, my mom was so encouraging and always she was motivational, and I think that's where I get it from. Like, always trying to encourage people, and just the stuff
yeah, you're good with that. A little preachy sometimes, but yeah, you get a little preachy. It gets a little preachy.
Anyway.
Oh wait, the sign's not there.
I just want people to live.
Look, I'm pointing at no arrow.
It's
there
not
it
going to
is.
stay there the whole time, John.
I didn't know that. Look.
All right, it's not going to stay the whole time. But just reading those letters back just broke me down, dude.
I bet.
Because, you're reading them, and then you just, you could hear their voice
Of course.
when you're reading them, and then just knowing, like, the things that she used to tell to me, remember to do this, keep God first, and all these lessons, and remember this. And one thing a reoccurring theme in those letters was, be careful who you let into your inner circle. And sometimes when I look at you, I just go, I failed her.
Yeah.
Because you, man.
I thought you said felt at first, like you felt her.
Failed.
Yeah. Okay.
Letting you into my inner circle,
dude.
man. I let you into my inner circle.
Think about all the people you would not know if it wasn't for this guy right here.
No, but it's just funny to hear, like, to be reading it as an adult.
And then not
like
only
these
that,
letters my mom would write.
I know that if I had some letters and say my parents weren't around, and I not only would be thinking that, but I think it would also get me emotional just because of picturing her writing.
Of course,
she sat down
dude.
to write.
Just seeing my mom's, when I looked, I go,
handwriting,
I said, that's my mom's handwriting, dude. And to read it and remember this, and telling me to be responsible, because she was. You got to understand, when I went to college, my parents moved. So she was writing me these letters when I was 19, 20.
And she was in she went to Miami.
And she missed her baby. You know what I mean? I was her youngest, because my brother and sister were so much older.
Oh yeah, you were definitely the baby. Yeah, you're the baby.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
I'm definitely the baby in the family.
Yeah,
And
baby. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the baby.
Anyway, so it was, it was just telling me to be responsible. Remember to do this and remember to do that. And it's just.
But you know what's interesting? That's why I save my mom and dad's messages.
Yeah.
My mom too. She rarely calls, but when she did, I go, I'm going to save this. And an aunt of mine called me, left me a message, a very funny message, and I was like, I'm going to save this too. You know what I mean? Right. Got some questions?
Eric goes, Johnny was never going to make it to the majors. Name one all-star that is 5'2".
Oh God!
Damn, Eric is taking shots at you, man.
It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing of the guys who are 5'6", who make fun of people that are short. Jamie Masada does the same thing all the time. I go, you can't make fun of me, dude. You have me by an inch or two. Like, now look, if that was what's his name? He has not Sadiq. He has a Chinadu.
Chinadu.
Okay.
Oh,
now
I like Chinadu.
Okay,
man.
now. Whisper out Chinadu. Now he can make fun of.
At least give shout out to the black people.
Anyway,
Chinadu is black.
He could make fun of me because he's what 6'2".
Yeah,
6'3".
He's taller than me, so he's like 6'2", 6'3".
But like for someone like
Eric,
Chris, Jamie, who else? Even other guys that are like in my range are like, just because you got somebody by a couple inches, you can't then call them 5'2". When you're in the 5'6",
this is really getting under your skin, huh?
No, but that would be like because
Eric,
it's so
stay
weird.
clear of Johnny, because now you are on his list.
No,
Johnny has a list.
No,
I won't say it publicly, but Johnny has a list of comics that he hates.
No. What I'm saying is,
once he hates you,
stop.
It's gonna take a major effort to get back on his good side.
Get out of
It
here.
is. Oh, dude.
Hey. First of all,
I don't know about that guy.
Let
Like, oh,
me-
really, Johnny? Like, he
yeah.
shined me.
He shined me back in '97.
He shined me in '97, dude.
He gave me a shitty intro, dude, in
Yeah.
the main room
Oh,
at the
my
Comedy
God.
Store. He gave me a shitty intro.
Then I go, Johnny, maybe he was. Nah, dude. That's like the second time he's done that. And I could tell he never tells me good set. He never tells me good set.
Well, there are those comics that you know what? I always wonder about that too. I always wonder if it's just their personality that they. Because I know there's been some that I thought, oh, that's weird. I see that comic and go, hey man, you had a good set.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. They don't say anything, and then but I see that they do that to other comics. You know what I mean? So it's got to be.
Johnny was always the comedian growing up. That's Penny McAnally.
McAnally. Yes. Oh my God, I've known her since grade school. What's up, Penny?
And Eric goes, is Johnny in a booster seat?
Oh my God.
Damn, dude. Jeez.
What is with that dude?
And man, Eric, you're killing in this room.
I've never seen him kill ever. This is the first time I've seen him have a strong set.
He's killing you. He goes, he's laughing because he knows you're mad. He goes,
No.
I'll make sure not to cross paths with him. Don't want him kicking me in my shins.
Man, but he's doing all the easy. Those are all.
Eric,
That's like with Kevin Hart. He gets in the accident, and what's the first jokes you hear? He's fine. He was in a car seat. I mean, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Eric-
Shins and kneecaps.
Eric,
and,
so from now on, I'm going to be laughing on the inside. I'm not going to be laughing outwardly.
no.
At
By the
what
way,
you
we were
said.
supposed to have a race, but now that I have hip tendonitis, I can't.
So
Because he said he could beat me running,
Penny.
sprinting.
So I don't know. And
He did.
We should do it and record it.
Yeah, but I gotta
listen-
I've got a hip flexor, man. I can't I wish I could. I can't.
well, let's get back on topic. I don't know if Penny's still.
Oh,
I don't know what Penny does for a living, but like we were talking about, whatever you do, like what is your daily motivation? What keeps you going? What keeps you striving? If you are striving for something, I think.
Yeah, well,
I think me and you are striving.
for more than just stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to
And
be
it doesn't
able
have to
to.
necessarily just be fame. you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, but I think it's to reach a wider audience when you feel like you have something to say and something to contribute.
You know what? He
You
is
know?
right though. Look, see, I'm above. See, you know what, Eric? You bring up a good point. You just proved my point. I keep telling Ruben slouches, and I keep telling him, dude, it doesn't look right because it looks like I'm above you.
You're so conscious
No,
about
because
your,
it just doesn't look right. It doesn't fit because everybody else knows. That's a legitimate question he's asking.
All right, you want me to raise my seat so I can be taller than you? I'll raise
just
my
sit
seat.
right?
I am sitting right.
No, you slouch, man.
So, same thing.
That's a
dude.
little better. Here, look.
Why don't you lower your seat so you can be,
Well, but here's the thing. See, I don't want to be too low with the mic. I want the mic to be. See, this isn't going down anymore. So that was a legit. That's a legit. See, that looks better, dude. Let's just start slouching a little bit. And look at this. Look at this posture I got going on. All right.
I'm retired due to a back injury, but I'm doing good. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well, Penny.
Oh, geez. Oh, man. I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't know. Is this getting too personal? So, Penny, you're retired. You have a back injury. I don't know. I'm just curious about everyday life. Like, what? I guess I'm so goal oriented. And they always, you always see these posts and these memes, on Facebook and Instagram of habits of successful people and all these things. And I try to apply those things to my life. And I just wonder, are we different in that aspect? Does everybody have different motivations of what keeps them going, or are you just living day to day? Like, I don't know. I'm not saying it to be negative. It's just a curiosity thing.
Well, I
just
think
wonder about what most people like. Chris, what's your motivation, man?
Comedy.
Honestly,
My honest motivation is I worked really hard to be able to enjoy what I do every day. So and to be successful for a potential family, I think that's what I want to do. I don't want to be embarrassment to my family, basically.
you don't want to be an embarrassment to your family. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So it makes you strive harder.
Yes.
Now, do you come from a very successful family, or do you want to be the first in your family to have success? Because I know education-wise, you know, some people go, man, I was the first person in my family
To go to college,
so that was a
yeah.
motivating factor
Yeah.
to, you know, keep going, keep striving, doing all these things to achieve that goal. And maybe the question is, maybe it's a two-part. Like, are people only motivated that have specific goals, or are people just getting up and
Oops, sorry.
and living? You know?
Yeah. Well, you know what though? When I got into stand-up, it was a little bit different because I was single and young. So when I got into stand-up, it was about getting famous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's really what it was.
Yeah.
But there was one thing I remember I was like, well, I'm doing this so I can buy my parents a new house, which I wish would have happened. It didn't. But that was
doesn't mean that it
one
won't
of my
happen.
biggest motivations. You know, I remember it was like, I'm gonna get on TV, I'm gonna do stand, I'm gonna get specials, I'm gonna start doing movies, I'm gonna buy my mom and dad a house. You know what I mean? It was all about that, and it does change. Like, you know, you want a legacy in stand up as well. You know.
Marissa says we're all different. Not everyone is hungry. I mean, I get that. Like, I get that. You know.
Oh no, she said my grandkids keep me on my toes, and I have custody. Oh, she has
That's
custody of
Penny.
one.
I'm talking about Marissa.
Oh,
We're all different. Not everyone is hungry.
hungry. Yeah.
I mean, I get that, but there's but Marissa, my question to you is, what is it that you want out of life? You know, is that the motivation? Like, is there something that you want out of life, or are you just living? I'm not saying. Eric just said he follows this
Regiment.
this page on
Oh.
IG called Motiversity on IG,
Okay.
like to motivate.
Okay.
And I listen to Gary Vee a lot. You know, he's on my timeline
Vee,
and everything,
yep.
and all his
He's
things
great.
about pushing people to get better. And I guess, to be full disclosure, I read self-help books, and I love stuff about. I just love to see people achieve their goals and their dreams. You know, and I know everyone doesn't know what they want to do in life sometimes, but even the search for that. Like, I remember somebody talking about, you know, college is not for everybody, which it isn't. But I know one thing that was told to me: if you have no idea of what you want to do, college could be a good place to explore that and figure it out. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Eric said Gary is dope too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people that's motivation to try. You know, what's the new popular phrase, man? I'm living my best life. Are we all striving to live our best life? Shouldn't you be hungry to live your best life, whatever that is? And it's not saying be a celebrity or be a star or be a millionaire. It's not even about that. I think it's just everyone is chasing happiness no matter
So maybe
what you do.
Maybe for somebody like oh man, this is a dude I used to run track and cross country with, Scott Pierce. Great topic. I often share with students how you're living your dream of being thanks, man.
A comedian, and
Comedian.
that if you are willing
To do the work and sacrifice, you can achieve your dream. So in a way, you're motivation for a lot of young people to dream big. Thanks,
Yeah.
Scott. This guy's still a great runner, by the way. Still running.
Wow.
Still running. I'm sure he's still doing 10Ks and all that stuff. Can I tell you a funny story about Scott Pierce real quick?
Yeah.
This falls into motivation. So when we were running track and cross country, for a while there, he couldn't beat me.
Yeah.
Right. And he's really tall. He's like 6'2" or something like that. And I remember the cross country coach and track coach. He taught both of us. What it was is I always had a kick at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would stay behind Scott.
Yeah.
And let him break, stop the wind, take the wind, and then when I come around the corner, I'd always have my kick.
Yeah.
And then our coach, Mr. Gentry, was like, you're way taller than Johnny, so he's taking 2 strides to your 1. So he told him, force him to not have the kick anymore. So you're gonna have to pick up your pace. So just pick up your pace, and now he's running, taking more steps.
Yeah.
And and it worked, dude. I didn't beat Scott again after
Never
that.
beat him again after
no,
that? Yeah.
because he was stretching out his stretching out his stride, and I had no kick left. Anyway, remember that, Scott?
So just to get back, because I don't want to
Anyway.
make it seem like I'm shitting on people for not being
No,
motivated or
no.
anything like
maybe,
that.
Maybe she's at a place with Maria.
Yeah,
like
it's
she's
just-
at a place that she doesn't enjoy working or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you just want to see, people happy and live their best lives. And again, I came from a situation
Feel the tell.
of, having parents who came from extreme poverty, who, just worked really hard. And, that motivates you. I mean, even on small things. I remember playing football. I was playing my 10th grade year, and I was always a smart football player, but had never
You
really
didn't have
played
the skill
football.
set yet. I
didn't
remember
have
you
the-
telling me about this.
And
yeah.
dude, so my 10th grade year, I made all league. We went undefeated, and I remember not feeling good because I felt like, there were some games that we won in spite of me. You know what I mean? But I had just never been properly trained. I didn't know. So I remember going into my junior year. So I went from the B team to the varsity team. I didn't, we skipped JV.
Yeah.
And I remember I was going out for varsity, and shout out Cedric Washington, who was a great football player, and he had played all through Pop Warner. And when Ced came, he was the shit. He was good the whole time. And I remember Cedric goes, "You going out for varsity?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Why?"
Damn.
And dude, that was my
Yeah.
motivation.
Right.
From that moment on, I was like, I'm going to make this team. And not only did I make varsity, I didn't start, but I played a lot because that year we were number one in the nation in football. I came from a great school, Banning High School. And started my senior year and got a bunch of scholarship offers. So that moment of humiliation and embarrassment motivated me to achieve. And I think my love of stand-up comedy and acting and writing, those things that are motivational, that keep you going because you feel like what's in your heart, you want to get it out to the masses, to entertain people, to touch people, to motivate people, to inspire people. Like you said, you motivate and inspire. I want people to be able to see me and know where I came from. For me to even do comedy is crazy, coming from the family I came from.
Yeah.
My family didn't
You didn't really grow up with pop culture and all that.
no pop
You know what I
culture at
mean?
all. My parents didn't watch TV. My parents didn't take me to movies. My parents didn't listen to secular music. There was never Aretha Franklin playing in my house or
Right, you were telling
Earth, Wind, and
I was
Fire.
I was listening to.
Yeah, man.
We
It
were
was-
listening to I was listening growing up. I was listening to Motown and all that
Yeah.
before you did,
Yeah.
dude. Oh wait, she said, this is great, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, also, like Eric was saying, some people just not everybody, but just I get it. Some
Mm-hmm.
people, what we do takes so much more, a lot of motivation to get yourself to get up and do all that. But he's got a good point. But with Marissa, she put, what motivates me is providing more for my family. I want a ranch with chickens and goats and maybe a pig that I can share with my kids and grandkids someday and keep that going. I
love that.
That's awesome.
I
So
love that.
let me-
That's that.
because,
Thank you
dude,
for
I'll tell
sharing
you,
that.
every time yes, thank you. And you will do that, and you
Yeah,
will get it.
you will do
and
it.
And here's the
Absolutely.
funny thing, is whenever I go back home to Larry,
Why
and
you
I'm-
say that to me? It was him.
Oh,
Damn.
that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love driving out in the country, man. And you see, I feel like her sometimes, like, damn. Now would be great. A house, few miles out of town. You got a few acres around you. I mean, it's so peaceful, especially us being out here.
Yeah.
We're in the concrete jungle, man. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I had a friend who he moved to Vegas. And I was like, man, why'd you move to Vegas? He was like, man, I wanted to be able to have a house, for
Sure.
my kids.
Yeah.
And he just didn't think that he could do that in California, especially in the area that we lived in.
Right.
And, I think sometimes you can figure things out as you go along, which is great. Everyone, like Eric said, but you have to realize not everyone is motivated as us. Some people are happy with where they are in life. We can't get frustrated with people are comics because they aren't striving for more. There are some comedians that are happy just doing the local scene. Some comedians are happy just being professional openers. Some comedians are just happy
doing the road,
hosting the local open mic. And all that is true, Eric. And I'm not disparaging anybody. I'm just curious. Because we think, you know what I mean? I'm just curious.
But what he's saying is what we discussed earlier, which is basically each stand up is a little different with, for you and I mean, I want to get back to what I was doing with TV and some films and
everything
and voiceover and everything. I want to get back to that because it's been it's been nice focusing on the stand up a little more.
Yeah.
Because when you're not doing those, something switches, man, and the gear switches, and then you focus a lot more on your stand up. And but that's why you and I mean, Ruben and I are going to start shooting more stuff together.
Absolutely. And, you don't. The thing that's dope about nowadays is you don't have to wait for anybody or anything.
You can just
there's no excuses.
Yeah.
Like this phone that's in my hand right now,
is enough to
get
yourself out there,
to the people. Yeah. And here's the thing: it's not like sometimes we wrap it in, to get us more popular and to get us more famous, and that's cool because that gives you the bigger audience. But I think for me, even this might sound corny, is just to. Man, this is something. What I love about doing stand-up really is I thought about this by myself, like driving or in my bed or I thought it was funny. Now I'm on stage telling it to a group of people, and they're agreeing with me by their laughter. Like they enjoy it. Like there's something
from the start when it's just an idea dope. Or something that happened to you.
I told you the first time I ever done stand up, and if you guys listen to the podcast, the first thing that happened to me on stage, where I told you is I had that out of body experience.
Yeah,
and the first thought was, I can't believe people are laughing at this.
Yeah,
like that feeling of, wow, man, this thing that I thought was funny, people are they're laughing. That's what comedy. I mean, that's what comedy is. Like you come up with. That's not only what comedy is, but that's one of those things that is kind of dope. That you create these things and people are responding to it and they're receptive to it and they like it. And there's just so much more that you can encourage people with.
Yeah, is it an interesting? Oh, I didn't realize she's from. Oh, she grew up in the LA projects in Hollywood and Crenshaw. And now, of course, she's in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. So she just wants that peace and you know what I mean, that peace and quiet now. But isn't it always funny when you look back at where on these bits that become these huge bits of yours, and then you go, man, that all started.
Yeah.
And remember, how we always start. Sometimes things work great. By the way, when a bit is, it's somehow some need no work.
Yes.
And then others need complete
work.
Like the handicapped grocery store.
Yeah.
How long did that take me?
Yeah. To
and
get
it
it
ended up being an 8-10 minute bit by itself. But there's this one, and I'm going to say this so that I can get myself to talk about it. There's just one thing that happened. And I've been trying to talk about it on stage, but there was a guy, these two homeless dudes in a parking lot, and one guy was younger and he was beating up on the older one. Mm-hmm. And that whole thing where you're like, at what point, man, do I get involved here? Because this other dude, he would stop and then he'd go back over and he'd kick him in the head again or punch it. And I'm like, man, if I run from behind, if I tackle this, here was the problem. The homeless, the dude that was younger, that was beating on this guy, he had these sweats that were, I guess, too big for him, and they kept falling down, and so his dick was out, and I'm like, oh, what if I time it wrong? And I go to tackle him, and then the sweats fall, and now I'm wrestling with this dude. His dick's all over.
It lands on
my forehead or something. Seriously, could not. And this guy needed help. The older guy needed help, and I'm like, I'm not getting involved with.
If his dick landed on your forehead, I'm like, damn, man, he fucked your head up.
Oh God!
Thank you.
Okay, see, I appreciate those.
I know you do.
I appreciate. That's good.
I hate it when you do.
That was that was play on words. I think that's even better than a pun.
Yeah, we both do those.
Yeah. Or it could have been even better. Man, he fucked your foreskin head up. You got skin on your forehead? No. No. What happened? Anybody?
Anyway, man.
Anybody?
Anyway,
to Larry?
We got to take off, man.
Oh, what? We're done? Oh, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. But
okay.
This is our first live, man. This is our first live.
live.
So we're going to be going live every Wednesday, talking about different
at 1
topics.
p.m.
If there's things that you guys want us to talk about or discuss, keep them to yourself. No, I'm just playing. Send us, let us know. But thank you guys who participated.
Scott, let me know what you're running in the 6 mile now. I'll be curious.
This is a new thing, but I think it's
yeah, I think we should do this more often, and then we'll definitely do. See, this would have been a good one.
Yeah.
For when we were talking about our favorite TV shows and movies and stuff, because man,
people can chime in.
Everybody's gonna get in. We'll do music. Maybe we'll do music or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we'll do more of that. But thank you guys for participating, and definitely.
And thanks for chiming in, Eric.
And I think
We
let me just say
appreciate
this. And do you think this? I don't
No,
know. If
I'm serious, by the way.
I don't
I'm
know
not-
if you're in agreement with this, but I think whatever it is that you do in life, don't you think you should set goals? Everybody should have goals of what they want to
there
accomplish.
should be little things that
You know,
because
And-
that gets you then because you have these little milestones, these little
and those are things that
accomplishments.
will motivate you.
Yeah, because you go, oh my god, even if it's little.
Little.
Like I mean, it
Even
could be
if-
as simple as I know for me, it's particularly trying to get back to certain clubs. You know what I mean, that I haven't done in a long time, or one that's something that a place I've never done.
Yeah.
Even getting into a place and going, oh, I ended up getting into that. I'm talking as a stand-up now,
Yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? But for somebody else, it's completely different. So, but I agree. The little steps.
Yeah, even if it's weight loss. You know, I remember, when I started losing weight, then you set a goal of what you want to, the weight you want to get to or whatever. And then when you start seeing results, that motivates you
to keep
going.
Or like when we started dieting, it was like you start
Exactly.
noticing something.
You're like, oh man,
I fell off yesterday. Had some McDonald's.
It happens, man.
Whisper out Ray
No one's
Kroc.
perfect, and we're on this journey. Like
Whisper out Ray Kroc.
Ray Kroc is shit.
Ray Kroc is shit. He hates it. Ruben has not. So everybody knows. Ruben watched the movie The Founder, and he has not
I have
eaten
not
at
eaten
McDonald's since. How long ago was that movie? 2-3 years ago.
Eaten at
He
McDonald's
won't go
since.
because
I haven't
he
touched-
ripped them off.
I haven't touched a fry from McDonald's.
And I always
since.
send him my pics of my McDonald's food.
I mean, McDonald's is shitty for you anyway.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
but
come on, man.
But I
come
haven't-
on.
but
you
even-
know you
even-
want that fillet of fish every now and then, Mo.
Yeah.
You know you want that fillet.
I know,
of
man.
fish.
I remember but even when you're drunk, like even when I'm drunk, I haven't slipped up.
Yeah.
And had McDonald's. That's how much that movie annoyed me.
Yeah.
What he did.
1%. Just give him 1%. Even a half a percent.
For you guys who don't know the story, man,
watch
Johnny,
the movie. By the way, yeah.
Tell them why I'm mad.
Basically, Ray
Tell them why I'm
Kroc.
mad. Tell them why I'm mad, son. Tell them why I'm mad.
I'm gonna tell right now, motherfucker. Shit.
Tell them why I'm mad.
Because Ray Kroc was the one that was franchising it, and the original McDonald's brothers, they just wanted like a small 1% piece for their children, grandchildren, and so on from here on out. And he didn't give them anything.
So the guys who came up with McDonald's,
yeah, which was in River. The original was in Riverside.
Yeah.
Riverside. Yeah.
So Ray basically took
Ray
their
Kroc is shit. We kept going.
took their idea and made billions of dollars
Yeah.
and left those guys.
And their family hasn't. Yeah, right. So their great grandkids would be, having some money
I
coming
just
in.
couldn't do something like that. Even if I outsmarted somebody and did what, it's just for that much of money not to be able to even share and give.
I know. But anyway, Ruben hasn't eaten at McDonald's since,
I haven't eaten at McDonald's
which is
since.
crazy.
I haven't eaten them. And dude, I've been places where there's only a McDonald's, and I'll go to 7-Eleven to eat Doritos instead. Or grab something there.
Oh.
Now, if you tell me McDonald's owns Doritos, then
Oh, I got some news for you. No,
What?
the 7-Eleven guy did the same thing to the original 7-Eleven guys.
Are you
I'll give you the
serious?
story. Yeah, I'll give you the story. So you can't stop at 7-Eleven either.
No.
Yeah.
It can't be as bad as that.
Bill bashing.
You're lying. I don't believe you. I'm used to this motherfucker trying to get me mad. But anyway, let's get out of here.
All right.
But thank you guys.
Hey, thanks for
We appreciate you
watching
guys.
and asking questions. And
Yeah.
look, that's what she said. Marissa's all, hey, that's it. Boycotting McDonald's. My boy Manuel Razzo, man. Whisper out Manuel Razzo. There's Mark Fernandez too. All right, man.
I wanted to make sure Evelyn Brito from she says hello from Boston.
Hey, Evelyn.
And Monet,
I don't know her, but I know her through social media. That's what's cool thing about doing this.
We just met a girl Kate that's starting to work here from Boston.
Yes. Yeah.
Just earlier before we went on.
Yeah, before we went on. Yeah, but
Get
thank
over there
you
from
guys.
Baston. Thanks for tuning in from over there in Baston.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said,
that
let's
good?
go Dodgers. National League champs. That's right, baby. Let's bring in the World Series. We can't lose it again. Not 3 years in a row. But we got to get there first, but
Get there
we'll bring it
first.
home. But thank you guys. Every Wednesday, 1 o'clock, the best of everything with Ruben Paul.
Mike Stapleton. Whisper out Mike Stapleton. Tulare, California.
Okay, you just messed up our outro.
Okay. Go ahead. I won't even respond. I won't say anything.
So this is the best of everything with Ruben Paul.
Can I say something? Johnny Sanchez. You can see right here. Look, man. Knock on wood if you're with me.
Hey, and if you're seeing this later, well, shit, we don't even need to tell them they can see it on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
Oh, if they want to watch or listen to it on YouTube and everything.
Yeah, if you want to listen to it, we're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. And that's it. We out. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you.
Epa!
All right.
Ruby motherfucking Tuesdays.
This show is all about diversity and bringing everyone together. You never know who you're going to see at Ruby Tuesdays.